I'll share with you a three-phase system to go from not having any clients to making your first 10K in your online coaching business. And this is a process that I actually share with my own clients, and they go from idea to creating income in their business pretty quickly because of how the system works. It not only helps you get clients, but also helps you create results for your clients because you're a talented coach. You're focused on helping people and solving problems. And when you mix that with this three-phase process I'm going to share with you, it's a good combination for results. Now, you can use this three-phase process in any stage of your coaching business. If you're brand new, it's perfect for you because you can start it with a fresh start and have a proven process that works. If you've been coaching for a while, had some success, but hitting the slump, maybe you need to recalibrate what you're doing. This process will help you. This three-phase process will help you do so. And if you're looking to take your coaching business to another level, right? Let's say you're generating income, you may be past your first 10K, but you're looking for a way to optimize because you don't have the systems and the processes in place. And I'll walk you through what that looks like. So before we dive into the video, let me just share with you exactly what I'll be talking to you about. And what those three phases look like is number one, you'll validate real clients. You're not going to be making up your offer based off of assumptions that you're making, right? This is the kind of help people want. There's a specific process you go through actually validating what real people want, what real clients want. And why I say clients, because you're not doing this for free. I'll show you exactly how to validate what real clients want and help them create results, and they'll pay you for it in the validation process. The second part is you'll create a framework, really identify a framework on how you help people. And when you're able to create that framework on how you help people, it becomes a lot easier for you not only to communicate your offer and the value you bring, it helps you identify the ideal person you could help, but also helps you with your marketing, and it helps you create a system. You can like systemize this process potentially through creating courses and other things, right? So that's the second part. The third part of the process, and I'll go through it in details with this. I just want to give you a heads up on what to expect. And if this is for you, stay and watch the video. The third phase of this process is strategic pricing. Understanding how to price your offers when you're beginning and as you grow and as you excel. And some people call it scaling, but as you grow into your business beyond your first $10,000, I share with you a very specific pricing model and strategy that I've used myself and I've helped my clients and my students use for them to grow their coaching business, especially when they're new. And if you have any doubts and you question the value that you bring, you question if it's actually worthy, hey, is it worth this number? I'll share with you how you can charge what you ideally believe your offer is worth, the value of your offer without feeling bad about it. So I'll walk you through that. So those are the three phases I'll walk you through. So let's jump into some details. If you're still with me and you want to know the details, just put down in the comments details. And I'll share, I'll know you've watched past this point in the video, and you're definitely serious about getting to and beyond your first 10K in your coaching business. Now, let's jump into the process. And this process is something that I've actually used myself. I've been coaching professionally since 2013. That's the first time I was paid $175 for 4 sessions. There's a whole story about that. I think I have another video on the channel, and I'll tell you about that story at another time. But also what I've learned over the years, I've been coaching full time myself and for clients. Actually, clients hire me to coach in their programs, and I've been doing that full time since 2016. Now, this process I've seen worked over and over and over, and I've been able to refine it with clients even up to today. That's what inspired me to do this video, record this video today, is I work with a client today on this process. So let's dive in and talk about the first part, right? Is validate with a real client. Validate your offer, validate how you coach, validate the results you can create with a real client. What tends to happen when you're new, there's a lot of assumptions we make what people want and what we can deliver and how we can deliver it. But there's nothing like validating that offer, your first coaching offer with a real client. That's why the first milestone for you isn't launching your coaching business, right? Isn't being perfect in your launch. It's about validating the transformation that you can bring and you can deliver to someone. One of my clients recently, what she decided to do to validate the transformation that she's able to deliver is by offering short 30-minute sessions for $200, not because she doesn't want to charge, not because she's afraid of pricing, but because this process is for research. She used this process to test her framework, test what kind of results she can generate for this person, and get direct feedback from them. Now, the reason why we decided to go with charging $200 is having the person invest in themselves. When people invest in something, they take it more seriously, they're more committed to the process, and they're willing to follow through. That's the thing. When I know you may have done, if you like me, you may have done a lot of free coaching, but very few people who access that free coaching took it serious enough to go out and implement. That's why at the beginning, I recommend charging a low amount for your coaching. And you'll use that as a maybe one or two clients max. You'll use it as a benchmark to again validate your framework, validate the transformations you can get, and understand what kind of results real people are looking for, what kind of questions real people have, what kind of feedback that they're giving to you, because now you can take this and craft it into your bigger offer as you launch. One of the best things about this process, it is very low stakes, but also it helps you get some clarity and helps you build a foundation to build an offer that is very transformational. An offer that's value based that becomes easier to sell as you increase the price for your coaching offers. You don't need to do a course or anything like that at the beginning. It's just have these coaching conversations. Four main things you want to do is help them see their problem differently, see there's a different and a unique solution to it. That's something that you can do. And as you go through the coaching calls with them, then you'll be able to demonstrate as that you have a unique solution to help them through those interactions. The third thing you want to do is usually what I do as a coach is I share a lot of examples of how I've overcome, how my clients have overcome, and work with them specifically on what is their concern. Don't focus so much on what you want to work on or the system that you think you need to implement. Focus on what they want to overcome. And then the last part of it, for the last call or around the last parts of it, is focus on, hey, how far have you come since we've worked through this process? So that's the four steps. This can be done loosely. All four of those steps can be done in each single call that you do, because in each of those calls, you want to make them a transformational experience. Now, a bonus tip on how to get testimonials is doing two things, not only doing the call, but giving specific homework so they can come back to the next call with direct feedback and homework based on the experience they had with you. Now, here's how to get a testimonial. As you come into the second call, just spend a few minutes at the top of the call asking a simple question. What's your biggest takeaway from our first session? And have them answer that, and you'll start hearing them talking about the transformations that you've been helping them to create. The second question you may want to ask: what's been your biggest takeaway? What's the biggest aha moment you've had from the homework? Right. And again, it will help them start reflecting and thinking, this, it makes a difference this way. Oh, and because of that, and they'll start sharing with you some ways you're making an impact that's created a testimonial that you can potentially start using that language as you create your offer moving forward. Let's jump into the second part of the process, and that's creating a repeatable framework. If you want a repeatable framework in your coaching business, just drop the word framework below. Just for fun, drop the word framework below. Because having a repeatable framework allows you to really grow into your confidence as a coach. And what a repeatable framework looks like in most cases is a way of how you operate, a way of how you solve problems or solve the problem that's most pressing for your clients. For me, I help my clients with mindset and sales. And I have a repeatable framework that I use because over the years, not only did I help myself overcome the challenges I had with my mindset, with money, with my value, with selling. That's helped me create that framework. But the coaching and the results I created over the period of time really helped me refine it, especially working with thousands of clients over the years. So how are you going to develop your repeatable framework? Now, as you've gone through those 4 coaching calls, I would encourage you to record those calls on Zoom. And you want to make sure you have those calls recorded because you'll use the transcript in conjunction with ChatGPT to pull out the framework from it. Hey, what were the biggest challenges that this client overcome? And if you want a prompt, right, to actually help you with this, just put prompt in the comments and I'll share with you a prompt that I actually use. There'll be a link in the comments to my community. It's called the Sales Coaching Gym. And in there, there'll be a prompt where you can use to extract your framework from the coaching calls you've done in this method. And what that prompt really helps you do is really identify what were the biggest challenges that my client was experiencing and how did I help them overcome it? And you'll see there's a systematic way that you've been able to go through helping that, some language you've used, some systems you've used, some steps you've given them. Because if you're like me, when I'm in the moment and I'm coaching, things just flow out of me that I didn't really had pre-planned. So using this method with ChatGPT and the recordings, you're able to get those nuggets and, oh, wow, that's really good. That worked. This three-step process actually worked. It resonated with this person when they had this particular issue. You can pull it from the transcript and start looking at, okay, how can I model this in a way that I can use with other people? So the goal here is take what worked once and structure it in a way that works again and again and again. And it's not just helping you, but it's also helping you build your method and build your framework to make you even more powerful and effective coach. That later on, as you build your practice beyond your first $10,000, is you'll be able to now create some leverage, potentially creating a course, creating some other resources around your framework that can support your clients beyond you being there, you being present in front of them. And also that helps you with your content creation when it comes to marketing. Now, the third part of the process, this is a part that most people get excited about, or most people are concerned about, but they get excited about because this is the part that makes business business. A business generates revenue. That's what a business do. We can coach for free and we can feel great about the impact that we're having in the world. But the other side of having a coaching business is having a process, a system, a business that generates revenue. So let's talk about some strategic pricing, and then we'll talk about some early bird pricing for your offers. Now, here comes the talk about money. And this is the part that literally scares a lot of people off. If you're starting to feel a little uncomfortable when it comes to money conversation, there's some work you may need to be doing on yourself because and also you're not alone with that. I charged $175 for my first coaching program in 2013 because I had a lot of issues, but is this actually worth it, right? I was really battling that on the inside. But what I've realized that coaching is one of the best ways you can help people create lasting change in their lives. And how valuable is that? How valuable is that beyond their interaction with you? Because when you're able to help someone shift out of where they are right now to where they want to go, that impacts their lives positively 10 years from now. It impacts hundreds of people they may interact with. So you already have the value in what you do. And especially since you've gone through this process where you've validated your offer and your coaching process, you've developed a framework behind it. Now charge for it. If you're having concerns about charging and getting to your first $10,000, let's do the math and keep it nice and simple. I ideally recommend you starting at $1,000, minimum $1,000 for your coaching program. If you're at the point in your journey where you have the confidence and the belief and the certainty to charge more, please do so. Please do so. Now, most of the clients I encountered get into the mindset and the belief, the personal belief and confidence to charge $1,000. It's a little bit challenging at the beginning. So that's why I recommend starting there and grow into the pricing that you want. For some people, they just need one client and they've surpassed their initial goal of getting to their first $10,000 in their coaching business. For others, it may be 10 clients. For others, it may be 20 clients, right? And some people take even longer to get there because they haven't done the personal work. So let's talk about the pricing strategy that works pretty simple. Now, you want to anchor your pricing offer, your coaching offer at $1,000. And that should feel right for the kind of transformation that you're bringing to someone, right? That should feel right to you. But you want to roll it out in phases sometimes because you may need to grow into the confidence and the belief of the value, the transformation for that $1,000. What I recommend is the first client or two that you work with, you can do those coaching sessions for about $500 or less. Like the example I used earlier, I had a client actually, she did her first four 30-minute sessions for $200 because she felt that was a no-brainer. That person will really implement and then give her a testimonial at the end after they've completed it and they've experienced the transformation, which allows her to build on it. Go ahead and do an introductory offer, and you can let people know, hey, this is only for two people. I've only have two spots at this price. And in exchange for giving you a significant savings, right? Because your price and goal, your full price initially will be $1,000. And if you were to take on two clients initially, so you can validate your process, validate your transformation, you let them know, hey, as an incentive for you being my first two clients, I will give you a savings of $600 for you to come on and we'll work together so you can have this transformation. And in exchange, I'd love a positive testimonial. If you want some help with selling in my sales coaching gym, a free community, I have something called the stress-free selling method. You can just join there and you'll get access to that. So you have your first two clients, you walk them through the process, you've gotten results and you've gotten testimonials from them. Now they should have grown your confidence and belief in the transformation that you can deliver. So now you raise the pricing. You start with a price that you're comfortable at, make it a no-brainer so people can start your process so you can create a transformation, get some results, get a testimonial, boost your confidence and certainty, and then gradually increase that price to the next level that you feel confident at. Now, this process I've used with clients at many different levels of the price of their pricing structure. I started working with one client and she started out at $2,500. That's where she was comfortable. And within 3 months of us working together, she was making offers for this. After she refined the offer, the same offer, we work on refining the offer because she was able to create more transformations, get more testimonials. And through that process, she got more clarity as how she can help people, how she can communicate the value. She was able to take that same offer with some tweaks that she was charging $2,500 for and start charging $8,500 for it. So this process works as you go through your first few paid clients. Doing free coaching is very different from paid coaching. So I recommend you get paid clients. You given a significant savings to get them enrolled, get them a result, and then in exchange for the savings you've offered them, they'll give you a testimonial. This whole pricing strategy here makes it easy for you to sell and even easier for your clients to say yes because they'll come in, they'll see that you can help them, and then you can grow from there.